Hey guys, welcome to Make With Me Monday. My name is Robin French Smith, and today I'm going to make the marbled, or I'm going to show you how to make the marbled drizzle slash glaze that I took a picture of and showed you guys the other day. I'm actually blown away by how many people were excited to see that. I guess because like a lot of my Instagram feed is cookie and cake stuff, so it's just something I've seen a lot, and I didn't even think about it being like a unique or different thing for bath bombs, but maybe it is. Maybe we're gonna all like start doing this and start a new craze. So I have my camera where I can kind of angle it down, which means I might not be able to see the comments as easily, but I'll be able to like go back through and look at them. So I'm gonna turn this, well, I guess for now I can show you, yeah, like we can sit here and see this stuff. Sorry, this is messy. So I have a couple things. I have actually two types of drizzle I'm gonna show you. The most basic drizzle that you can do is gonna be equal parts of cocoa butter and either baking soda or cornstarch. I prefer cornstarch, but equal parts of baking soda or cornstarch. So this is 20 grams in each container, and I'm gonna pop them in my microwave. Now it takes about 2 minutes for cocoa butter to melt. If you are buying cocoa butter, like I know that initially it can feel like an expensive ingredient, right? But this is cocoa butter. I get my cocoa butter from Sober's Choice. So if you are buying cocoa butter and you can afford to get it in bulk, Sober's Choice is the way to go. It is going to be the cheapest per pound that you can find. So that would be my suggestion, because I mean you just can't beat it. And the thing is, like, cocoa butter has such a long shelf life, so it's not like it's gonna go rancid or anything like that before you can use it up. I mean, the likelihood of that, it just has such a long shelf life that I just don't think that that's gonna happen, but I know that that's always a possibility. The picture that I showed you guys were green, and I will show you one of them. I use them to make little wreaths. So I don't have any that don't have decorations on them, and I don't actually need any more green ones because I'm done with those for the season. So I have some pink ones prepped for you guys. So we'll do a color combination of pink, and then I also have just some white, so we can dip some white ones and see how those do. Now the drizzle that I'm making right now is actually going to be for the white bath bombs. These were part of there were extras I made for Christmas just in case, for some of my sets, like just in case some of my sets needed like a filler piece and they didn't end up needing them, so now they're just kind of extra. I'll probably sell them to, you know, when people come over and they want to shop this stuff, I'll just have those sitting around and people can buy them because that happens. And that's gonna be this drizzle that we're gonna use. The other drizzle that I'm gonna use is actually something that I've been working on, so I'm not gonna give you the recipe for it yet, but it's very similar to the cocoa butter bombs, the cocoa butter bomb things. Very similar to those, and they what am I trying to say? It's almost makes like a mirror glaze kind of finish on it, so it's something that I'm still working on, but that's going to be what I'm going to do for the other one, because the other one is actually going to be sold some point. Okay, so now I'm just going to go ahead, and this is cornstarch, so I'm just going to do, yeah, there you go, trying to get it where you can see. Okay, we're just going to do equal parts of cornstarch to baking soda. Pretty simple. sometimes these little jars get like really hot where I can't take them out, and then other times they're like fine. And so then this one is gonna get its cornstarch. Okay. So I'm just gonna take I don't know why I bother putting on these gloves if I'm just gonna take them right back off. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Okay. So the Kayla says you're waiting for the cocoa butter bomb. So actually the cocoa butter bomb, I'm actually kind of excited about it. I've been able to get I think about 4 different types of things that you can do with it. If you know, tweak this little thing, then you can do this with it. If you tweak that little thing, then you can do that. So there's actually like some variations that I've found on it that are possible, which is pretty exciting. So I'm waiting on that one until I have, you know, a good grasp on, like 100% sure that it all works. And I'm pretty much at that point, you know, but yeah, it's just been pretty exciting actually figuring out all the different things I can do with it. So, okay, now this is gonna be on this white bath bomb. So, and this actually smells like coconut. We're just gonna make it crazy though. We're just gonna put like some crazy colors that don't have anything to do with coconut on it. So let's do it with, I mean, we can do it with greens because greens are what you guys saw and we're excited about, and that would be with lakes. I could use micas. If I had some micas that were cosmetic safe. The ones that I have, the greens that I have aren't, so we can make our own green. Now I just put my lakes straight into my mix, and I've had people tell me that that doesn't work for them. It could just be like your supplier, wherever you're getting your lakes from. So if it's an issue for you to try to mix it in, you can mix it in ahead of time into the oil. So into one, I'm gonna do 2 microscoops of blue. And then to the other, I'm going to do 1 microscoop of blue. And into this one that has 2 scoops of blue, I'm going to do 1 scoop of yellow. And into this one that has 1 scoop of blue, I'm going to do 2 scoops of yellow. See where we're going with that? Okay, so then I'm just going to stir it in, stir it up. This is going to be like a really pretty teal kind of blue color. And you can see all the little dots and stuff in there. That just, you know, just needs more time to stir. So yeah, I'll just have some really confused people when they come over to buy stuff, and I'll be like, it smells like coconut, but the top is a marbled green drizzle. So congratulations. So you can see that like really pretty teal color. There's still some little spots in there. You can see there's still some little spots in there, but I'll just keep stirring it up. It'll be fine. Everything's fine. And then I'll start stirring this guy. Now, if this gets hard and gets too thick for me to work with, I can always pop it back in the microwave. You just want to be really careful because the cornstarch can burn. Ask me how I know that, okay? The cornstarch can burn. Okay, so this green is a little bit darker than I wanted it to be, right? But you can always add some mica. And that's how you make a green. You use white mica to help carry the color, and you use lakes to what am I trying to say? You use my white mica and the lakes will like attach themselves to the white mica, and then you can, you know, get your homemade green micas and stuff like that. Let's add just a little bit more because it's looking a little bit like baby poo. And we don't like that. I actually might even add a little bit more yellow just to see if I can brighten it up. Yeah, we'll add a little yellow. We'll see if we can just make it a little brighter. Just a little brighter. It's actually brighter in real life than what I can see on the camera, but still. I want you guys to be able to see the difference between the two colors. And the other thing is that you really want to make sure that you're picking two colors that are going to like show up well against themselves. So either if you're going to do monochromatic like this, you want to make sure one is light, the other is dark. If they're too close to each other, it's just going to look muddy and you're not going to be able to see the variation between the two colors. Or, you know, pick two completely contrasting colors for like a really nice visual pop. All right, well that looks just like split pea soup. But that is what we have. And I am actually going to pop it into the microwave just for like 10 seconds. And you do, if you put it in the microwave, you want to like really keep an eye on it, just quick little bursts. Because once it's incorporated, once that cornstarch is incorporated, it can burn and you'll get chunks of, burned cornstarch inside of it. It's really not that fun actually. Okay, so you can see it's real fluid and liquidy, and we're good to go. We're good to go on it. Now, I thought I had... Okay. Well, I have this bowl here. It's not really a bowl, but it's a dish. If you could... This is from the dollar store, so I don't want to put it in the microwave because I don't think that it's like heat safe, like it's not tempered. It'll be fine for this, but it's not, you know, something I want to put in the microwave. But if you were gonna do this, you could actually put your bowl in the microwave, and your bowl, if your bowl's heated up a little bit, it'll keep your glaze going for a little bit longer. But I'm just gonna pour a little bit on each side, and then I'm just gonna kind of alternate. Like so, and I still have a little bit left in here, which is good. I'm going to take a chopstick and just kind of swirl it, right? And then here we go. Here's the magic. We're just going to dip it, hold it up, let it drizzle, and voila. I'm going to set it down on this and do the next one. You can't see it. There it is. Okay, we're gonna do the next one. I'm gonna dip it, give it a little time to drizzle down, and then put it on the side. Now, if it starts to get muddy in the center, you can actually, that's where you have your extra left over here. You can add a little bit more, and add a little bit more. Right? And then you don't even have to give it that swipe because it's already kind of mixed in there, and you're just going to go at it again. Cool? All right, and then we'll do one more. These would have been awesome for Christmas trees if I had thought to do this during Christmas time, but of course I did not think to do it during Christmas time. Well, I mean, I did for those little wreaths, but not for like Christmas trees. But, so you have to remember that cocoa butter is gonna make your bath bomb heavy. So I don't care if my cocoa drizzled bath bomb floats, but if that's like a thing for you where you get like, you know, you feel like you're not complete if your bath bombs aren't floating, then just keep in mind that these are gonna sink like stones, baby. They're gonna sink. They are not gonna float. Once all that cocoa butter drizzle melts off, they will come back up and float, but initially, at least, they are going to sink. They're gonna be sinkers. Okay, so that's that drizzle. I could, if I had been smarter, I could have put this all into a, like lined this or something, and then I could transfer it and use, I mean, I could still transfer it and use it again. So that's, I don't know what I'm saying, but you can still transfer it and use it again, but it's marbled now, you know. So if I had like, yeah, you know what I'm saying, right? It's cool though. It's cool though. You can reuse this drizzle. You can keep it in like squeezy bottles. You can line your squeezy bottles with plastic. You can use those air things that come when your products come to you, like packed in those, what am I saying? It's not bubble wrap, but it's like those big pockets of air. You can use those. You can snip off the top and you can actually line your bottles with those. So normally I wouldn't just wipe this out, but I thought I had another bowl like this in here, and apparently I did not. But normally I would just, you know, get another bowl and not wipe this out like this. But this is what we're doing today. Okay, so that's one way to do it. The other drizzle that I like to use is the one that I've been working on, and the reason for that is, so cocoa butter, what is this called? Drizzle, glaze, has a tendency to develop like kind of white speckles and spots on it, and it also can be a little bit dull when it is dried. It's beautiful, gorgeous when wet, but when it dries, it can be a little bit dull. So I have been working on, it's basically like a mirror glaze. So it's just gives it that like sheen or whatever. And it's originally built off Amanda's, I'll put this up so you can see me while I'm talking. It's originally based off of Amanda's drizzle recipe from the Fun in the Tub book, which is actually a great drizzle recipe. So this baking soda, cocoa butter, baking soda 50-50 thing, it works. It does work. But I prefer to add, like Amanda's Fun in the Tub recipe has some SLSA in it and some poly in it to keep it from, like, to help it dissolve in the tub a little bit better and disperse in the tub a little bit better. So I actually prefer to use that one in general. But for a basic thing, you know, you can totally do this one that I just did. So there's no need to like feel like you have to, but it's just a preference thing. If you're practicing though, you can definitely practice with that. Or you can practice with real icing, like real royal icing. That's like, I'm telling you, that's the way to go. Because then you can eat all your mistakes. Okay, this is not completely melted yet. So I'm going to give it another minute. Now, I was saying that Soper's Choice cocoa butter, my cocoa butter takes 2 minutes to melt, and generally. I have noticed that like the pastils, those don't take as long to melt, and I'm not sure why. Yeah. So you do want to keep an eye on it, but I mean, I'm sorry. You know, maybe if you took the time to like properly temper your cocoa butter, I mean me. Maybe if I took the time to properly temper my cocoa butter, I wouldn't have issues with it getting those little white spots on it, but there's a reason I'm not a baker, okay? So I'm just not there. I wish that I had the patience to do that, but I just don't. So, okay. So, but I mean, yeah, y'all, these for real, right? Okay. But for the pink ones, for this pink donuts. I'm gonna use mica for those because I can. It's like, I mean, if I can, I will. Where's this thing? Oi, Jesus. Sorry. It took my shirt. My shirt almost took the microwave. Okay, sorry, that scared me. Sorry. Okay. Enough with that. Okay, so I already have, I'm going to add some poly to this. And you can add fragrance to your drizzle. I just don't. I just feel like I just don't do it. I mean, it doesn't take up enough of the product to me to need fragrance, and I feel like it performs fine without it. And I feel like I want my drizzle to be nice and hard, so I want as little liquidy things inside of it as possible, so that's why I do that. I'm gonna put this on really quick because I'm gonna use some of this. Yeah. SLSA. Keep my mask on until I've stirred it because I've sucked that up before and it's not fun. So I'm going to turn this back down here so we can see what's going on. Huh. Just until that's stirred. And then I'll take this mask off. Okay. So it's in there. Now, SLSA does have a tendency to kind of clump up. What am I doing? This hand. So I'm just going to make sure that I'm breaking up all those little clumps. See how it's getting little clumps. Now you can use I have like a little tiny whisk here that I could actually use to make my life easier, but why would I do that when I can make it harder? Okay, so that looks pretty broken up. I'm still gonna add cornstarch. You could add baking soda if you want. I'm still gonna add cornstarch to it though, so I'm not super worried about it. Eventually it'll all break up. And like I said, like this is it's just a different type of drizzle that I've been working with. The only reason I'm using it is because the pink donuts are actually going to be sold, so I'd prefer for them to have the drizzle that I prefer. Whereas these ones, I mean, they might get sold, they'll probably get given away or like, you know, thrown in with, I don't know, with things. So I don't care quite as much about those. If I'm going to sell it, I want to use the drizzle I prefer. And then my cornstarch. Now, one thing I have found is that the amount of SLSA will have a direct influence on how fluid your drizzle stays. So if you are following the Fun in the Tub book, then just make sure that you are like actually measuring it and following, you know, the amounts. Don't just like throw some in there. I have a lot of failed drizzles as a result, so okay. The other thing I like about this though is, to me, this stays more fluid longer. I don't know why. The Fun in the Tub one does as well. Like I said, this is a riff off of that one, so I can't really take too much credit on quote unquote formulating it. It's like, it's just riffing off somebody else's idea and being like, what if I did this to it? Could this happen? So, okay. Now, so these donuts are pink. I'm thinking that the drizzle should be like pink and purple, maybe. That is the wrong. It's not wrong necessarily, but yeah, I'm thinking the drizzle should be pink and purple. I think that would be kind of cool. And just like the first type of drizzle, I wanted to show you two drizzles so that you knew that you could do it with like any type of drizzle. I didn't want to show you like, I don't want to be like, oh, here's this special new drizzle recipe I'm working on that I'm not going to share with you yet because it's not ready, and then be like, but I promise you it'll work with regular drizzle. Like, I wanted to be able to show you that, like, yes, it will absolutely work with regular drizzle. It will work with any type of drizzle. So that's why that had happened. This is my scrapey one, not my stirry one, so my bad. But just like the first one, you can pop this one in the I can pop it in the microwave if it feels like it's a little bit too thick for my preference. I think it'll be fine though. And the thing is, like, honestly, it's pretty quick to make. I mean, I'm taking a lot of time here because I'm talking and fiddle-faddling around, pulling the microwave off with my shirt and stuff like that. But if I wasn't doing those, if I wasn't occupied doing those things, it'd be very, very quick. So let's do purple and pink. So let's do, I have this sample of Purple Haze from Nurture Soap. And you can tell if a color is safe for bath bombs. It'll usually say, you know, either it'll say safe for bath bombs or it'll say safe for lips. Okay? So that's one, you know, usually how you know it's approved for cosmetics. Approved for use in cosmetics. It'll either say approved for use in cosmetics or it'll say it's safe for lips. Okay, so there's the purple. I'm gonna leave a little thing there just in case we want more. But I think that will be plenty. Or maybe we want more. I don't know. So hard to tell. Yeah, we'll probably get a little bit more purple. Let's get more purple. So obviously, you know, micas aren't pigmented as heavily as a lake or a dye is going to be. I wouldn't necessarily use a dye, just because like they're going to be more prone to bleeding. You don't, you know, you want those like two colors to be really like distinct against each other. That's the only reason I wouldn't suggest using a dye for this. But other than that, you know, if you wanted to, that would be fine. And you know, you could actually, somebody go explore this for me so I don't have to go explore this, but you could probably do like a really cool ombre effect with that if you were so inclined to explore that rabbit hole. So there you go. I did just giving you, whoever chooses to jump through that rabbit hole, be my guest. And then we're going to use this one called Juneberry from Muddy Soap Co. And it has, like when I hold it to the side, you can see it has kind of some blue purple tones to it, so I think that'll be really nice. And I mean, you could do this with white and a color. You could, you know, you don't have to do two colors. I wouldn't suggest, however, splitting it. So this is one thing that I wouldn't suggest. Like, I wouldn't suggest making white base and then splitting it and adding color to one side or the other. And here's why. If you split it, if I pour this into a cold container, it's gonna kind of seize up and it's gonna quit being as nice and fluid as I like it to be. Sorry. This is just some freezer paper. which I typically put down if I'm doing drizzle. These guys were fine because I knew that the drizzle wasn't going to be going all the way down the side. But these little guys, the drizzle is going to be coming down on the side of them, I'm sure, and I don't want that to kind of rip them up when I pull them off. So, okay, put this back down here. And I'm going to do the same thing as I did earlier, just making sure y'all can see what the heck I'm doing. Hold on. Put things away, put things away. That's how I prevent accidents from happening. Okay, that's better. All right, so I'm gonna do the same thing. Sorry, just keep fiddling with it. Where I'm gonna pour pink from one side and purple from the other. And actually, you know what I did last time, and I think I'm just gonna do it again just because I've been sitting here talking for a minute, is it's still really fluid, but I'm just gonna pop it in the microwave just to give myself just, you know, just a little bit more working time. That's the thing, like you watch, like I love watching cookie designers on my Instagram, but they don't have to worry about their products, like temperature, like their icing and stuff like that. Like they don't have a timetable kind of going on their icing. They have plenty of time to work with it. So it's definitely something that, while we can apply the same principles, it's not always identical. Sorry, this is just gonna irritate me if this is in the way the whole time and y'all can't see. Better. Sorry that it's like, okay. All right, so I'm gonna, you know, pour a little on one side, a little on the other side. And I'm actually going to stop there because I have a lot of donuts to do. And they're small, so they don't need quite as much going on with them. Okay, and then I'm just going to dip them. Now, they might not all have some kind of amazing vibey swirl going on with them, but they're all going to look really cool. I mean, they're all going to be pretty cool looking. Now these donuts I made last night. So you do want to make sure that you're not like you have given them time to dry and you're not doing this like right off the bat. They will stick and see, like that. They will stick like that if it's a little bit wet. That was the bottom side of it. So it probably was like still not quite dry because it had been on the pan. Just gonna do a little surgery right there or something. All right. So it's muddy again, but that's why I saved all my mix over here. And I'm just gonna add a little bit. Gonna add a little bit. Oops. There we go. Like so. I'm gonna keep going forever and ever. And if, like, I pulled it off and it has kind of a ridge, you can kind of jostle it around and it'll, like, lay it down flat again. So, that's possible to do. I'm actually going to try to pop this in the microwave because this is kind of thick. It's really cold in here right now. So, I'm going to pop this in the microwave and see if that'll be okay. And if it breaks, then okay. It happened, all right? I'm just going to give it, like, 10 seconds, though. It should be fine. should be fine. It's fine. Okay, actually that was like 5 seconds, and even in 5 seconds you can see it's gotten some like jiggle back to it. So I'll give it the full 10 seconds. We'll do that. Just a nervous Nelly when it comes to putting things in the microwave. Okay, so that's fluid again. We're good. And then I'm gonna just add some pink to that side, some purple to this side. And as I go, it'll keep mixing in and it'll be fine. Cool? Cool. Now, I've also done this in like a plastic bowl. I've done it in a plastic bowl before, which is fine. I didn't want to do that because I didn't want to worry about microwave issues, right? I guess I could turn my heater on in here. It's really cold for Texas, which means it's like in the 40s today. So I'm gonna heat all these back up again, just really quickly. But you can see, and I'll show you whenever, like you can, like I'll show you, we'll watch how these two compare to each other. But what you'll be able to see is that the second one that I'm doing is gonna retain that shine, which is really, like, I know it's like a little bit more of a hassle to use because I have to keep heating it back up and stuff. Now, generally not this much. It's just, it's misbehaving because I'm doing a live, but that shine is like kind of priceless to me, so just saying. Okay. We're good. This is good. Now, if you don't have a microwave, I guess you could do this in a double boiler. You could, I mean, not guess, I know you could do it in a double boiler. You could do it in, I mean, like, there's all different kinds of things I could do. Like, I probably could have put a heating pad underneath this. Whoops, this guy keeps getting his little side taken off. Like, I probably could have put a heating pad underneath this. That would have probably helped with the keeping it warm. So there's probably, like, you know, there's like a bunch of different things that you could do. But either way, you get the idea of how to make a glaze, a marbled glaze. We have just a few left, so we're just gonna do, I have 3 more left to do. And with this leftover stuff, I'm actually going, these are Lollipop, these are lollipops. So I'm actually going to just go ahead and put them, the lollipop sticks in the bottom of them. And then I'll have that to do. And I'll have all that extra glaze ready for that. So, okay, this, I know that this has been drying longer than the tree, but it's probably, because of how hard it was getting, it's probably pretty hard already. I'm just taking that one because it was the oldest one I did. And you can see that this one still has kind of that nice glossy shine on it. And where, let me see where that little tree, let me find. Even like this little wreath, like you can't really see, but it has more of a shine on it. I think we may be able to see it like kind of right there, which is like, this is fine. This one's fine, but it doesn't have that same glossy shine. So, but that's how you do a marbled glaze. Now, if I don't see some marbled glazes in the group, like ASAP, I'm gonna be like super disappointed. But that's pretty much it. I guess I'll go through and see if there's any comments or questions. Is that melt and pour soap on the bath bombs? No. I cannot use, let me see if I have one that you can see. So if I use melt and pour soap, on my bath bombs, I don't know why, but like, if maybe you can see right there, it like reacts like this drizzle was melt and pour. It reacts strangely with my bath bombs, and it causes my bath bombs to activate. So I know that other people can do melt and pour on their bath bombs. I've never been able to do it. It's never worked for me. It always either activates them or starts to turn funky over time, and I think that's possibly because I live in such a humid area. But yeah, I've gotten the low sweat, no sweat, perfect, expensive melt and pour, and it still does it. So I don't know why, but yeah, it's definitely not melt and pour. I wish it was. It'd make things easier, right? Okay, guys. So I don't see too many questions. Okay, where's the recipe? The donut recipe is one that I'm still working on. This one is just a simple baking soda, 1 part baking soda to 1 part cornstarch to 1 part cocoa butter, and you could do that with you could do it with baking soda if you didn't want to use cornstarch. Or I prefer, honestly, I prefer Amanda's Fun in the Tub drizzle recipe to this simple recipe. It's another simple drizzle recipe, but it has some SLSA in it and some polysorbate 80 to help emulsify those oils. So that's honestly something I prefer. But that's it. And then let's see, just a bunch of, what do you use for stirring? Oh, stirring, these are little thingies that I got off of Amazon. I used to be able to get them from Walmart for like $1, and now they don't have them anymore. That's it. All right. Oh, Alyssa says Wilton makes a chocolate melter. That's a good idea. I'll have to look into that, especially if I keep doing these nonsensical, extremely complicated bath bombs. But anyway, guys, that's pretty much it for today. I hope that y'all attempt this and try this, and yeah, that's it. Happy making.